Hello and welcome back to the One of the Family podcast by Blue Circle Cement. On today's episode, we're joined by Band of Builders trustee Gavin and Tim, who is project lead of the upcoming Robs project, which is proudly sponsored by Blue Circle Cement. On the episode, we discuss who Band of Builders are, what they do, and how to get involved. If you enjoy the episode, don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Hi Gavin, hi Tim, how are you both?
Really well, thanks.
Yeah. So you've joined me today just to talk about Band of Builders. So for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't know a lot about Band of Builders, can you summarise who you are?
Band of Builders is a national construction charity. We provide practical adaptions to people's homes, to those in the UK construction industry, when they're faced with life-changing conditions or injury or illness. And we also support the families of those in the UK construction industry, so spouses, partners and dependents as well.
And how did the charity start?
Founded in 2016 by our founder, Adam Smith, who took to social media because he wanted to do something for a friend and colleague who had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. As a result of that post on social media, 50 tradespeople, mostly complete strangers, descended on Lincoln to carry out renovations to Keith's home. On completion of that project, the will, desire to help others was there, and Band of Builders was born.
Brilliant. How many members is there now? So it started off as 50 tradespeople?
Yeah, it started off as 50 tradespeople. Today on our closed Facebook group, we are Band of Builders. We have 10,000 members globally. We have members across the UK, America, New Zealand, South Africa, all over the place, really. And our social media platforms have huge followings. It's really encouraging and great to see.
Yeah, and how many projects have you completed since 2016?
So Rob's project, our upcoming project in Solihull, will be our 18th project.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's pretty special, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just like over 4 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. And we just keep going from strength to strength and trying to help as many people as possible.
Yeah. So how did you both get involved with Band of Builders?
So myself, I volunteered for a project and became a co-project lead in 2017, actually on our second project. And after that, I just got the bug. You just want to do more and help as many people as possible. So that's kind of, I volunteered for a project and stayed and just carried on doing my bit.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be something like a running theme throughout everyone who goes on a project.
Yeah.
What about you, Tim?
Same. I saw the story of Adam. My partner was at university in Lincoln, and so that was massive at the time. Disappeared off my radar. It appeared on Facebook one day, but they were doing Dan's project, and that was a few miles from where I used to live when I was brought up, and applied, and then stayed since.
Yeah. What do you think is in it for members of Band of Builders? Like, what do people get out of it?
Go on, Tim.
The big thing is that you turn up as complete strangers. You spend a few days working together, leave as close friends, but nobody worries about your background, who you've been, what you are, what you do. Just the fact you're all there to work together.
Yeah, definitely. It has probably the projects definitely have a different feel than like probably a typical construction site.
Absolutely. I think on a traditional construction site, you get a little bit of animosity there and trades don't really get on, but on a Bob project, it doesn't really matter what trade you are. You're all there for the same reason, to help someone less fortunate than yourself. In Band of Builders, we've created a community of trades that want to help people.
Yeah, definitely. You can see like everyone helps out, and you might actually see like an electrician cleaning up after himself.
I don't know if we go that far.
Why would you encourage people to join, become a member of Band of Builders if they're a tradesperson?
So Band of Builders is more than just helping people. It's helping ourselves and helping each other as well. We have created a community of tradespeople that support each other. And it's great to see that these guys who often don't reach out or speak to anyone, who may not reach out to their friends or family if they've got a problem, do feel comfortable talking to other tradespeople. And that's really important. And that's one of the initiatives and directions that Band of Builders is taking is around mental health. Mm-hmm. It's something that we're keen to explore and do more and support more. And just by being a member, being part of the community, can really benefit oneself. And you also get the opportunity to support others and apply for our projects and take part in our projects. But also, you may find one day that you need the support of Band of Builders, either through practical projects or through our hardship fund.
Yeah, definitely. You can see there's definitely a wide range of conversations that go on within the closed group and can range from everything like support just on a daily basis or a question, and then people are able to offer their advice or their help if they've been in a similar situation.
There's a wide range of conversations that go ahead on We Are Band of Builders, from work related to emotional support to bereavement, all kinds of things that really hit home and affect us all really at some point in our life.
Yeah, definitely. How do you become a member of Band of Builders?
You can find Band of Builders obviously on the web, bandofbuilders.org, and across our social media platforms, Twitter, Insta, Facebook. We've got a main Facebook page, Band of Builders, or for those that are in the trade, can seek out our closed trade only group, We Are Band of Builders.
Mm-hmm. So I think you said you've done now 16 project, was it?
We've done complete 17, so this will be 18, yeah. 18.
And what have them projects, what have they ranged from?
Bathroom refits to small extensions to home adaptions, all kinds of things. What would you say, Tim? Everything, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we've done, man caves, the full house renovation and adaptions, external works just to get people in and out of houses and wheelchairs. Yeah, pretty much everything.
Obviously, each beneficiary is different, so the works are carried out to meet the beneficiary's needs.
Yeah, and what has been some project highlights for you both?
Go on, Tim.
I think me was my kind of second project, Mercedes, and it's when we had Beast from the East. I made the mistake of thinking that it was drivable every day. 2.5 hours in the car was not too bad, but 4.5 hours in the snow wasn't great. But yeah, the hours we stuck in there, and you'd got electricians, plumbers, tilers, and chippies in a toilet that was probably 1 metre by 2 metres. And yeah, just again, I had the luck of being able to photograph the handover and just seeing the family's reaction to that. That was pretty special.
Yeah, does the family's reaction and the beneficiary's reaction probably makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
What about you, Gavin? And if the projects you've been on to, or do you think there's any, maybe from your perspective, that have kind of stuck in your mind as a changing point for Band of Builders?
The trouble is, Rob's project will be the 16th project that I've been involved in. Mm-hmm. And each one has got a special moment for me, from start to completion to handover, and the reasons why we were there. They've all got a special place in my heart. It'd be hard to pick one, I think. Sadly, we have lost 4 beneficiaries in total, including Keith. And those ones stick a little bit. But we rest assured that the work that we did for that beneficiary played a vital part in him or her remaining in their home, having their independence, being able to stay with their family for as long as possible. And the difference that we made a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the things probably to highlight is the support you give the beneficiaries afterwards. I know we've had Peter on before, and he spoke about his role of like reaching out and checking in with them to make sure they're okay.
Absolutely. The aftercare and support is really important to us. We don't want to be just one of these charities that go in, do their bit, and you never see us again. And again, it falls back to part of the community that we have, and many of our beneficiaries are in our Facebook groups. And once you're in the Bob family, you're in it for life.
Yeah, definitely. So if anyone's listening to this and thinking maybe they're eligible for a project, or they know someone who might be, what's kind of the criteria in the application process?
The biggest criteria is to have a construction-related link. Obviously, we're a construction-related charity. So if you are directly employed in construction yourself, or your spouse or partner is, or the beneficiary would be one of your children, you'd certainly be considered for practical assistance.
Yeah. And what's the process, like the application process like? Isn't there a house check and everything?
Absolutely. So what we do is people can apply and reach out to us through our website, bandabuilders.org. At that point, an applications panel will assess the application. If we feel that the trade and connection there is there and we can help, then there will be a further application, a stage 2 application, which looks at medical conditions, background, and financials, and all that kind of thing. And then after that, we'll visit the property and discuss them further.
Yeah. So in terms of like Bond Builders growth, like it's just steadily growing all the time. Like the amount of projects you're undertaking, the amount of members you have recently. Any huge milestones? Do you think that maybe if like maybe something you've been like happy to tick off and be like, yeah, really proud of that achievement?
I think the biggest milestone for Band Builders came in March 2019 when we were granted charity status. So we're registered in England and Wales, and from there we've just been able to grow and get more support. Having the support of the likes of you guys at Blue Circle on board has just helped us reach more people, spread the word, and just really grow Bob and become hopefully one day a household name.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're definitely on route for that. So 2020 was quite a strange year for everyone. The pandemic, obviously, and it affected people differently. How did the charity, how was it affected by the pandemic, and like was there a shift in focus?
There was. We started 2020 so positively. In January, we completed one project. By February, we completed our second, and we had our third planned for March. But obviously, the first lockdown came, and that had to be postponed. Fortunately, we were still able to complete that at the end of October last year. But it meant we only completed 3 projects last year. A number of our fundraising activities were affected, and also our planned events. We hold a summer camp out. We hold an annual charity ball, and unfortunately all this had to be cancelled, which obviously had a massive effect on charity funds. But that still, we were able to grow Bob. Last year we took on our first paid employees, which was really special. Up until October 2020, we'd been entirely voluntary based. So we've been able to take on a charity fundraiser and admin support now, which is really cool. But then, given the pandemic, we actually changed our focus, and we launched the Band of Builders Hardship Fund. And this was to support tradespeople affected by COVID, who may be struggling financially, to provide small grants to help people by putting food on the table or paying utility bills, any areas where they were really struggling as a result of COVID.
Yeah, and the hardship fund's still running now, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Yeah, and people can reach out to us via our website if they are still struggling, and apply for help with that.
How did you see, this is probably a question for both of you, like see the members, how were they affected by the last year? Do you think it was something that they probably like really struggled with, like tradespeople in general?
I think it was interesting. So there was the mix of the larger firms that didn't really stop. There was a probably 3 or 4 week hiatus in getting materials on sites, and then there was the individuals doing the kind of work in people's houses, their gardens, things like that. But suddenly overnight was decimated. There was nothing there for them. And with that mixture, you've got the bouncy people who had got money coming in, food on the table, and the ones that were struggling. It was an odd environment for a period of time in the closed group.
Yeah, definitely. I think the closed group probably provided a lot of support, and you could see people like sharing advice in there when it came to like applying for grants and things like that.
Absolutely. It really did hit the self-employed worst. And you saw the tradespeople rally around and try to support each other the best they can, offering each other work where they could, and then advice and moral support. And hopefully we've got through it.
Yeah, hopefully the end's in sight. So Rob's project, it kickstarts on the 13th of March, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm sure you are so glad to have another project coming along. I believe it's quite like a large project as well. So you're one of the project leads on it, Tim. Can you tell us a wee bit about what Rob's project is and what you set out to do?
Yeah, it's a big project. We're going to put in a wet room for him. That also then involves moving the existing kitchen to the other side of the house. All the door openings are going to need to be made wider for him to transit around the house in his wheelchair. Comes with that is the issues with the structure of the house, making alterations. We then give him areas outside of the house so he can go out to relax him, to get into the house. So there's a lot of work. Going to redo the electrics, the plumbing, to get it into the right spec in 9 days.
In 9 days. It's quite like a lot of work. Can you tell us a wee bit like about Rob himself?
Yeah, he suffered, I think it was a stroke that meant that he collapsed, hit his head on his bed and was paralysed from shoulders down, completely out of the blue. And then everything for him was upstairs in his house, beds, etc. So suddenly he needs the help to transform the house for him to be able to get around.
Yeah, and then this work the Band of Builders are doing means that he'll be able to get out of rehab and return home to his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the rest of the plans for 2021? This is going to be the first project of the year, and where's the charity kind of heading?
We've still receiving a number of applications for help, which we're currently reviewing. We intend to do many more projects this year, and also hopefully with the easing of restrictions and lockdown, we're hoping to do our events and fundraisers. And we're seeing a number of corporates coming on board this year, big merchants and things willing to support us. So hopefully a lot more tradespeople will soon see us in branches and on trade counters, and we'll be able to get involved more in Band of Builders. Yeah,
that's absolutely brilliant, and it's great that you've got more sponsors coming on board. How does the sponsors help the charity?
Biggest thing for me has always been about raising awareness. There's nearly 3 million people employed in the UK construction industry, and we want to try and raise our awareness of us to as many as possible. So just by them promoting us, you guys promoting us, helps us reach as many as possible, just in case that one person may need assistance.
Yeah, that's great. So how can people help, get involved, or how can they fundraise?
If people check out our website, They can get involved there. They can see upcoming projects. And there's a fundraising page on there also where people can request a fundraising pack. And just follow us on social media and like and share what we do. And everyone knows a tradesperson. So, just help spread the word.
Yeah, it's mostly about spreading the word of Bandit Builders. That was great to talk to you both. Thank you, Gavin and Tim, for getting involved in the One of the Family podcast. And we're really looking forward to being the sponsor of Rob's project, and looking forward to getting involved in more projects this year and in the future.
No, thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
No problem at all.